All right. Another day, another workout. Today we have deadlifts. My weighing sets for today was 250 kilos. But before that, let's get into a nice little montage of what happened before. And we are back. So today, for real, I actually did not feel like working out. Almost didn't show up, but I'm glad I did because made it happen, made it happen. So started off with a nice warm up of 70 kilos on the deadlifts as well. Wasn't really feeling it, but at least I had my knee sleeves, my new knee sleeves, which kind of matched the plate. So it was kind of exciting to, I guess, train on there as well. It's not the usual gym I train at as well too for deadlifts, so I kind of wasn't feeling in the best, headspace. You guys all know that your gym and like your training is also a mindset thing. It's also mental as much as physical. So you want to be in that environment where you used to train in specific muscle groups. So I don't know if it's just me, but let me know in the comments below if you like that. If you're so used to certain gyms and equipment and stuff like that, especially for certain like specific days. Anyway, on to my next warm up, which is 170 kilos. Now, I told you guys before that with deadlifts, I warm up actually pretty quick, as opposed to squats where sometimes I can take like 10 sets to warm up into my working set. So I was basically warming up plate by plate by jumping up by 25 kilos per side. Which is good. But also, I guess with when you're going up to 250 kilos, you kind of need a little bit more of a warm up. Your body can really tell. Now, when it comes to deadlifts, some of the main things I want to really, really focus on, especially doing the sumo, is driving those knees out, keeping that torso up. Take a deep breath in and drive through your heels. Feel your heels as well. When it comes to lifting heavy for deadlifts, what can you do? Make sure you trap that air in your thoracic region. Take a nice deep breath in before you pull. And of course, if you feel like you're gonna pass out, make sure you release your breath. This was something I personally would do. Okay. And now you notice that I didn't even some of these reps, after some of these reps, instead of actually, going continuously, I stopped in between. And that's totally fine, especially when you power program. And this isn't a bodybuilding workout. This is more of a power building. So it's more about that power, building muscle as well. But it's not all about keeping tension. So if you guys see with the deadlifts, with my concentric phase or the pull, I actually focused on basically pulling the weight up as fast as possible. And with my eccentric, I kind of dropped it really quickly. There was basically no tension during the eccentric. This was just to save energy so I can get all those power reps in and get my numbers in as well too. And that's working in the explosive phase of your workout. So this was awesome. And it's a completely different way to train. If it was deadlifts, if I was training with specifically bodybuilding, I'll try and keep as much tension in the muscle and control it down. Now here's my next set, keeping that control, keeping my chest up. And I know someone asked me on my Instagram today when I posted this video, how do you keep so upright while pulling the sumo? Because he obviously must struggle while he is pulling the sumo to keep upright. And there's a few things here that can play different roles when it comes to this. So when it comes to keeping upright while pulling the sumo, because essentially with the sumo you're almost like squatting. So the more upright you are, you actually add an advantage because all you ideally have to do is just hip thrust away. And it makes it so much easier. And let's be real, our hip extension movements, if we do train them excessively, we can actually develop quite a bit of strength with those hip extension movements, which is basically a vertical hip extension, as you guys will see. So you can tell how, with technique wise, you can lift quite a lot of weight with the sumo lifts. And today, especially where I wasn't feeling 100%, I really had to reassess my technique and form quite a bit to be able to ensure I get my lifts in. And I also had to really focus. You have to really focus on every single lift. So as you see me, and I'm fully zoned in, and really trying to make sure my form technique is right up, trying to push my knees out, keep my chest up, really try to drive my hips to start the movement as well too. So probably not the best angle, but it's all about focusing and zoning in. That's what would actually get you through. So for those of you that actually go in, especially that you got some numbers to hit, if you are struggling to hit those numbers like I was now, you just gotta zone in. You gotta really just switch your mindset, just refocus on form and technique, and drop everything that's basically has got any external distraction. It's only you and the weights at that point, okay? It's you drop literally everything. You focus, your mindset is focused on execution. And I guarantee you that even if you don't lift it, you come pretty close to lifting it. Okay. So this here is another set as well. This is awesome. I actually like this set over here. Even though after my first one, the bar started to shift a little bit. That could have been a pull in my hip. That could have been the way I dropped it as well too. At this point, my foot stance is actually quite wide, and I don't even want to go anywhere wider than that. So, yeah, pretty important as well to know that the wider your feet go as well too, your adductor muscles as well would also be taking quite a bit of load as well too, but ensuring that you also got some sort of looseness in them makes a big difference. All right, so after deadlifts, moved on to some leg extensions to just pump some blood into the quads, and then obviously finish off with some hamstring curls. Now this was awesome because we basically had very, very minimal rest breaks in between these. So it was just go, 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 pumping as much blood into the muscle, feel those little muscles work now, and isolation. So we'd been working with compound movements all like the whole time. So it was kind of nice to basically utilize some isolated movements and just target little muscle groups, like I wouldn't say little, but just isolate your quads for a little bit and just feel that little muscle. That little, I just keep saying little muscle groups, and just feel the muscle groups burn. Get a nice little bends there. So when it comes to compound movements like deadlifts, it's a little bit more like taxing on your whole cardiovascular system. Like you can feel that you're losing your breath, your whole body, your central nervous system is being cooked up at that point. When it comes to exercise like leg extensions, very, very easy on your central nervous system. Your muscular system and skeletal system is obviously taking a little bit of a beating and direct beating. But it's something that you could actually increase frequency of, means just train often and have very small repercussions. Like it's very hard for you to actually overtrain isolating movements because it doesn't put that much pressure on your central nervous system overall. And so over here, I could really, really focus on my quads. I could feel that squeeze. I could, really, really get into the zone. It still requires the same mindset though. You really still have to focus on squeezing those muscles and making them work. So nothing really changes. And this at this point is more connecting your mind and muscle. Like I'm onto the hamstring curl now, or the leg curl as people will say. And with this one, it's more about actually squeezing and actually keeping the muscles connected, especially when it comes to any sort of posterior chain. Posterior chain means muscles behind us. You got to really, really focus on that. So it is really important to actually understand what you are training for, the purpose of your training. Because if I was training for something more functional, it would be a completely different approach. As much as if I am training for raw power and strength, so it's completely different. Now the good thing about training for raw power and strength is you can put on muscle training with raw power and strength because the rules of hypertrophy still apply. Even though you are disengaging sometimes, you still are going to engage in the concentric phase with most of these movements anyway, which still helps with muscle tears and repairs. So you still can build good muscle bulk. And then one thing I'll do personally after going into a full power phase is to transition into a nice full hypertrophy phase where you go heavier but control the movement with the strength that you've built out from this. So I hope you guys are enjoying this podcast videos, day in the life, training in the life, or train everyday series as well. And guys, I just want to ask a favor. I want you guys to do me a favor, and if you can, try and support my videos, try and comment below if you can. When you get a chance, on my videos, I release daily. You guys get good full insights to my training, all my reps, my sets. You see my struggles as well. All I can ask is if you can drop some comments to help boost the algorithm, give it a like as well, and watch it all the way through so YouTube can continue to promote my stuff, and I'll keep cooking you guys up some epic content as well. Also, some suggestions in the comments. Definitely drop some of what you guys want to see as well. If you have any specifics as well, let me know in the comments below. So here's a nice little recap of the day. We end up going to support women's in sports at the Adelaide University sports event, and it was awesome. Such a great events, great people, and for a great purpose as well too. I do support women in sports. We had like all our KXK fitness stuff here, and it was fun. It was a good time. It was an awesome time.